Hey guys, PepperAmmy here. This week we are making meat and dough balls for soup. Now these are super easy to make and a great addition to most soups. Now to start, you want to make the meatballs, as these need to rest in the fridge for a while first. Start by combining 200 grams of pork mince, a sprinkle of salt and an egg. And now you don't have to wear gloves, but personally I'm wearing gloves because I have an open cut on my finger and food safety and all of that fun jazz. Then give the mince a mix and add in around 2 to 3 tablespoons of flour to bind it all together. You should be left with something that I can only really describe as resembling a meaty dough. And then you want to place that in the fridge to chill for about 30 minutes. Next, for your flour balls, combine 200 ml of water in a saucepan with 60 grams of butter and bring to a boil so the butter melts. Then you want to place 100 grams of flour in a bowl and pour over the butter mixture and whisk together, making sure there are no lumps. Now the great thing about making these is you can season them however you want. You can add dried herbs, dried chili flakes, anything that you think would complement your soup. Then you want to let this mixture cool slightly. Once cooled, whisk in 2 to 3 eggs until you have a silky smooth dough. Now you will need to whisk this a little bit because it's not going to want to mix with the eggs straight away, but just keep at it until it gets fully incorporated and, as I say, you have something smooth and silky. Now for shaping your dough balls, there are a few ways you can go. You can use spoons, which didn't really work out too great for me. My preferred method is to use a piping bag or a freezer bag and then cutting off the corner around about a 1 centimeter hole. And then bring some lightly salted water to a simmer and pipe into the water. If you're using a piping bag, you can cut it every roughly 2 centimeters or so, or even just pinch the tip of the bag. That way you'll form logs, but you can form these however you wish. And then you want to cook for about 5 minutes until soft and cooked all the way through. If you do make larger dumplings, you will of course need to cook them for slightly longer. Now it's time to shape and cook your meatballs. Optionally, you can use the same water as what I did, or you can just bring a fresh pot of lightly salted water to a boil. Now you want to just shape into meatballs. You can do it by hand, by spoon, whichever way you find easiest. I found using my hand and just slightly oiling my hand made it a nice non-stick surface, as this meaty dough is kind of sticky. Now you can kind of try and stop that by adding a bit more flour. Now you want to cook these in the water for around 5 minutes, and you want to cook it all the way through to make sure there is no pink left in the middle. Now if you are making a thinner soup, unlike me today as I'm making my roast pumpkin soup, you can optionally cook the dumplings and the meatballs directly in the soup, and once the soup is almost ready to serve. Once everything is cooked, add it to your soup and mix to coat and heat through and serve. Now these dough balls and meatballs are common over here as an addition to soup, and they really do work out much cheaper to make than to buy, and you can of course customize them however you wish. And there you have it, meat and dough balls for soup. A nice simple way to finish off September 2022. Now I hope you enjoyed watching and maybe even making these recipes as much as I enjoyed cooking them. And that wraps up this week's video and of course September 2022. Now there is going to be no encore this year, I'm afraid, as we are going to be going into next month's normal recipes once again. But as always, if you enjoyed, let me know down below with a like and a comment. If you're new here, feel free to subscribe for free weekly cooking content, and I will see you all again next week. Thanks for watching.